spilt my juice on the bed. Hi everyone, welcome back. My name's Kat. Subscribe if you haven't already. I feel like this is one of my favorite videos to watch on YouTube, so I needed to make my own. This one, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm going to be telling you literally everywhere where I have gotten and where I still get my inspo from when it comes to fashion. I'm giving you specific examples and things like that. If you're into fashion, I think you'll find this video really fun and really interesting. So please watch and let me know what you think. Did I say my name's Kat? Because it is. Okay, now let's start with probably the biggest one for me is music. For me, music is the biggest influence when it comes to anything in my life, period. Like, I use music to mark moments in my life. I'm so dear and precious about the music I listen to and so sentimental. And every year for the past few years, I've been dedicating one or two specific songs to each year, and it runs through my head and I think about the lyrics and I think about everything, and it's just the whole vibe. And playing a music game when you're in the car on a long road trip is probably, as well as having a curry, probably up there in my top. And watching the first episode of Apprentice, probably my top favourite things ever that I've just said to you. But yeah, it's very symbolic to me, more specifically 70s. I'm sure you guys know this. I feel like I say it in every video. But I'm a girl that loves a music video. Whenever a new song comes out, I'll always be on the music video so I can get the whole vibe, you know, the whole feeling. But with all the slander I give online following aesthetics and everything like that, let me just say it is so good in a way, because I follow so many people on TikTok who have the similar interest in me, similar love of music as me, and I can so clearly see how their music and my music aligns, and in turn how what they're wearing and what I'm wearing kind of aligns. So it makes a lot of sense. But I'm going to talk about some of my favorite artists and we can kind of break it down. But I'm not going to be general in this video. I am going to be talking about me. I was going to be general and talking about people that maybe I didn't like so much, but I feel like you guys will get more passionate if I'm speaking about things that I genuinely love. Let's start with my king, my daddy, if you will, Elvis Presley. He obviously did this fusion of rock and roll and glam. Then you've got Dolly Parton, which is more known for her country glam. And I needed to mention that I saw someone in my comments the other day saying, "This is Sparkly Girl Summer." And girl, I could not agree more. And then you've got Fleetwood Mac, you know, they're kind of quite a boho style, more specifically Stevie Nicks. One of my all-time favorite bands, if you know me, the Mamas and the Papas. Obviously, one of my muses, Michelle Phillips. Michelle Phillips gives kind of Jane Birkin, but more carefree, more live life on like once, like, but she gives that more carefree vibe. And America, one of my favorite bands ever. They have that classic American casual folk rock style, you know, lots of denim, lots of flannel shirt. And then going full American folk, you've got Bob Dylan, again, your classic American folk look. And believe it or not, I am heavily influenced by rock and roll and like the grunge scene of it all. Even if you looked at how I dress, you probably wouldn't think that, but I say this every time, but again, one of my favorite artists, Neil Young, he's given that rock and roll vibe, but more in like subtle, quite easy to wear way. If you guys don't know this, I'm way more influenced by men's fashion than I am women's fashion, especially going back to 70s. Probably now in our era, probably more women fashion, but back in the day, I'm so much more influenced by the men's fashion. And I love the Rolling Stones because they've got proper edgy, quite flamboyant, and also sometimes androgynous outfits, which I love. Pink Floyd, in their peak years, embraced the psychedelic and, dare I say, avant-garde style. And also, can we please bring back these neck scarves that they wear, because they are so cool. Obviously, one of the kings of fashion, do I even need to mention David Bowie, who's renowned for this ever-evolving, boundary-pushing fashion, known for his like theatrical, again flamboyant and especially androgynous looks. But what I love about edgy, I hate the word edgy, but like rock and roll grunge style, which by the way, I don't specifically know exactly what defines a rock and roll style and what defines a grunge and what defines a, am I allowed to say goth style? Like, I'm kind of, those lines are all a little bit blurred, but I take inspo from all of them, because what I love is when you look at the specific pieces that they're wearing, they're actually quite simple. It's usually just a black top with a off the shoulder rip, or I don't know, like the pieces themselves aren't particularly out there. I don't know, it's like so out there but also so not. That's what I love about it. But if you resonate, think about your favorite artists. If you resonate with their music, I think it's very rare that you won't resonate with their style too. I feel like the grungy kind of more muted, well no, just kind of blacks and greys look is proper effortlessly cool. Now what I also love about the grunge, that kind of vibe, is the layering that they do. It's so beautiful. You've got waistcoats, little scarves, like just bits and bobs like flown around you, but it all just comes together in such a cohesive way. And also it's so easy to DIY. I have a whole board. I have it private, sorry to be a gatekeeper, but I'm gonna do a video in the next month or so probably, because I'm a busy girl right now, but I really want to DIY some clothes, and I don't want to rush DIY and stuff. I want to like actually know specifically what I want to DIY, but a lot of it on my board is quite grunge related looking things because I feel like it's so easy to do. Movies, let's get into it. Now, one of my beige flags as well as being vegetarian is probably that I'm a movie hater. Sorry, I'm okay. I daydream all the time. I'm spaced out. I'm never in a conversation. I'm constantly somewhere else. No matter how good the movie is, okay, even if it's my favorite movie, I won't listen. I won't know what's going on. My eyes will be looking at the screen, but let me tell you right now, my head is somewhere else. And it's really hard to watch movies because people don't like to watch them with me. In fact, what was that? Is it Calamity Jane? Wow. I totally forgot that one existed. This is just one example. I watched Calamity Jane probably 6 years ago with one of my best friends. Get to the end of the movie, I go, oh, by the way, who's that lady singing? She goes, oh, that's Calamity Jane. Me, who's Jane? You see my point? But I'm just a major creature of habit. But specifically, there's two types of movies that are so inspiring to me, and probably like the only two types of movies I've seen, like really. My list of movies that I've watched is very, very small. But can I just say real quick, if you guys have any really cool artsy films, like I will be interested in watching those, so please let me know, because I am a movie virgin, essentially. Now the first one, Studio Ghibli movies. Where do I start? Hang on, let me show you this. Hang on. Can you guys even see that? I got myself like a little Studio Ghibli card holder from the movie My Neighbor Totoro, is that how you say it? Which is so funny because actually, I'm not going to talk anymore. Let me just stick to what I'm trying to say. Now, firstly, the outfits themselves in these movies are so simple and they're often quite wearable, functional. And you've also got like quite nature-inspired elements. The movie's strong connection to these like earth-colored palettes, natural fabrics, or at least they look like natural fabrics, and accessories, which kind of just brings a really harmonious relationship with the environment. Does that make sense? And obviously you've got the historical and cultural influences in this type of movie. You've got the blend of traditional Japanese attire mixed with really imaginative elements, which provides a rich sense of inspiration to incorporate into the modern fashion world. Now I'm going to touch on this in the next movie genre too, but I just wanted to mention it here real quick. The colour palette, it is so ridiculously calming and pleasing to look at. It's definitely one of my comfort things to watch. The main thing I love is like the playfully cartoony side. Now I've said this before, but I love like silly, ironic. Look, I'm literally wearing one right now. Ironic looking t-shirts. I love a t-shirt with like a little cartoon on. I've got a few, like it's kind of giving cheap and cheerful. I don't know, I just really can enjoy a certain type of cartoon, but it has to be so specific. I hate Disney, sorry, but yeah, I think you can get major colour inspo from this movie. And speaking of colour, another one that I wanted to talk about. Now, before this was like a massive trend on TikTok, I was already a massive fan, so I feel like I have the qualifications to talk about Wes Anderson movies. So let's talk about the colour palettes for a second. Anderson's films are known for their meticulously created colour schemes, not to mention their symmetry, inspiring, cohesive, and so visually appealing outfit combinations. I'm so visually drawn to these type of movies. And in case you're wondering, my favorite movie is not my favorite movie ever, but it used to be my favorite movie ever, but Moonrise Kingdom. So beautiful. I've done a lot of Moonrise Kingdom photos and references over my YouTube videos, you might have noticed. And in lockdown, me, my husband and his brother filmed like a Wes Anderson movie, and we spent hours making it. Unfortunately, my brother-in-law has lost all the footage of me and all the bits we did outside setting up, but I still have the footage of them and it's really cute. You've obviously got vintage and like the quirky styles. I want to say 70s, but I feel like his movies are kind of, each movie is in like a different time and place, so I don't want to like put it under that bracket. Now, under that movie genre, I wanted to also talk about characters, and girl, no, I'm not talking about Disney bounding, because I have real issues with that, although I'm all here to let people do what they want. But look, let me tell you this, before I started this YouTube channel, I had to log into my Twitter and private it, because the amount of hate is definitely the wrong word, but strong opinions I put out there about Disney bounding. I had to private my Twitter account literally for that reason, because I was like, girl, I do not, if any of you are Disney bounding out there, that's fine, like that is genuinely fun, and that is you and that is your happiness, but is not mine. But drawing inspiration from characters in movies and TV shows is such a good way to find inspiration and explore new fashion ideas and explore your own creativity and what you maybe might latch onto from these characters. Again, I said this in one of my last videos, but if your personality has all these layers, then expect your style to have all these layers as well. So maybe have in the back of your head, okay, I want to dress up as, I don't know, this person from this movie, but it's in the back of your head. Maybe take what they're wearing, maybe take the colors they're wearing, maybe take the shoes they're wearing, and then something might stick. This is what I'm saying. But because characters often have like proper specific styles that have been curated by like set designers and professional costume designers, this is why it can introduce you to more interesting combinations that maybe you've never thought about before. Because although they're characters, the people behind them are professionals. But yeah, again, this can help to broaden your fashion horizons, and maybe you probably learn something new about yourself. Maybe challenge yourself to do that. I feel like that'd be fun. Now the next one, books and magazines. Now, books specifically, there's one book in particular which is like majorly influenced me, but let me talk about magazines for a sec. Now, I was at my brother-in-law's about maybe a month ago now, and one of his friends brought him this magazine, or this book rather, and it had like loads of really cool archive looks from like the 90s, early 2000s, and it was so hard not to keep getting distracted by Kate Moss' beautiful face, but it gave me some ideas that I hadn't thought about before. And my brother-in-law actually said a really good point, and he was like, oh, do you have a magazine subscription? I was like, no. And he was like, neither do I, but that would be such a good idea. I was like, why has that not crossed my mind before? There's magazines that I want to get, but I'm going to gatekeep those places because I don't want them to sell out, and they're very expensive. Why did I do that? But I thought that was a cool idea. If you have, I don't know, however much money a month, why don't you get a magazine subscription? That'd be so fun. Because fashion magazines do showcase professionally styled, photographed outfits, providing such a high standard of inspiration for probably more polished looks. And obviously you've got the trend forecast. Obviously it helps you to maybe be ahead of the curve, or not be ahead of the curve, maybe know what's ahead of the curve. I'm not saying you have to buy these things, but it's just good to, I don't know, just keep a lookout for these things. And obviously these like articles do have actual fashion experts who can probably give you some more like informed, valuable advice to make more informed fashion decisions. Does that make sense? Not like their opinion matters to you personally, but I feel like it's kind of good to know these things. Festivals. I love festivals so much. It's probably one of the only places that I feel genuinely invisible, which is kind of a really nice feeling. I mean, festivals are a hub of expression and creativity, encouraging bold experimental fashion choices that definitely reflect personal style and cultural influences. Also, I love it because you've got such a wide range of fashion, people from everywhere, maybe people that you might not particularly have hung out with before, but seeing all these different groups of people come together and see all their different things that they've got going on. And also there's always these little pop-up stores at festival, like sometimes there's little vintage clothes things, and one of my pairs of my favorite earrings, not these ones, but I got from a lady from a festival in London, I think in 2021. Speaking of festivals, I had to mention these guys' purple sparkly trousers that I saw in Cheltenham the other week, and they were sick. It was at a food festival, but still counts, right? Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Hang on. I'm a visual learner, so things that resonate with me the most are things that I can see, obviously. So the next one, music videos and photography. Now, I've been in photography, I've been into photography my whole life, and at weddings and things, I'm always going to be the one making the wedding video and stuff like that. It's one of my interests. I'm actually thinking of like doing that, but that is another thing. But I wanted to talk about one of the music videos that has majorly inspired me and like unlocked a door to a color palette which I've never been exposed to before, and I have never thought about before, especially not one that I've thought about wearing. But it was in Billie Eilish's music video, What Was I Made For? And when I watch my YouTube in the shower, okay? I'll say it loud and proud. I watched Troye Sivan's music video in the shower for the first time. That was a whole experience. And also I watched this music video in the shower for the first time. And this also was an experience. But I can't explain it. But wait, sorry, I've been out of breath. I need to just take it down a few notches. There's something about that colour palette, the contrast in her dress and the background is just divine. And if you look around me in this room, I'll show you. You see this yellow cushion and this? In my last outfit video, this is really weird. I put on an outfit with these two tones in and I think they go so well. Also, if you guys... it doesn't... what the heck? Guys, we're just going to have to leave it, but just take my word for it that I have been inspired by it, and there's a few things in my house that I've taken inspo from since then. And some things I already had these two colours together in my house. Like, there's this painting that I did in the hallway, and I did it probably 7 years ago. And I still love it so much because of the colour palette, and it is the same colours. But yeah, it's just so pretty and so inspiring to me. And I saved it in one of my mood boards when I first saw it. And I think about those two colours. I'm not going to try and explain those colours because I'll probably get them wrong. But let's just say I know it when I see it, and it feels nice to my eyes. But I think these two colours complement each other so well because they sit across from each other on the colour wheel, which creates a vibrant and visually appealing contrast. You've got pale yellow's warm, soft tone, which balances the turquoise. And I don't think it's turquoise, but you know, this like cool, refreshing hue, which is cheering and charming at the same time. I'm so bad at explaining stuff, but I just wanted to give you guys like a personal example. And the next one is out in public. Now, I'll make this quick, I won't bore you. Now, people that are dressing on the street aren't dressing in an ironic, quirky kind of way. They are getting up, they're getting changed, and they're going. So you're seeing people wearing things in a more authentic way. And especially in the city, it brings together very different cultural influences and maybe some different traditions or even like some really, really modern trends. But you're seeing it all at once, and you're seeing people wearing it in a realistic, wearable, authentic way, not in like a magazine. I mean, you guys know, like, I love a photo shoot. I love things being worn in a really stylistic way. But also, you can get inspo from everyone. Now the next one, my friends or your friends. Honestly, this is what I'm saying, like, I genuinely take style inspo from everyone because everyone thinks differently of how to wear something than you do. But I would say I'm definitely surrounded by like-minded people who are interested in the same things as I am. But the two things that kind of define my friendships the most is fashion and music. I feel like if someone I meet isn't really interested in either of those two things, we probably won't get on because fashion is life. And by the way, when I say interested in fashion, that doesn't mean you need to dress like me or I need to dress like you. And it also doesn't mean that you need to be up to date with all the runways and that you need to be knowing what's going on and that I need to look at you and be like, you are the most stylish person I know, and they have to say that about me. Because to be honest with you, I don't think I have any friends that dress like me, but all of my friends dress so differently from each other as well. But they're still all into fashion. Like, not one of them is like, oh, I don't care how I look, I'm just going to wear jeans and a white top. Like, every one of them is interested in fashion. Shout out. You know who you are. But it's good because your friends, what they're wearing, or the people around you rather, or the people that you work with are realistic and achievable. And if you see something that you are influenced with, if you do see something that you got influenced by, you know it's probably easily attainable. Now, I thought I'd include this one, but I don't listen to this one, and this one doesn't help me, and it doesn't benefit me, and yeah, but I'm just going to say it anyway. In some cases, friends can offer their honest opinion and suggestions, maybe helping you to refine your style or making you feel more confident. Now, what my friends do is hype me up, but I would never, unless really rare circumstance. Maybe like if I was on holiday and I just chucked a load of stuff in my suitcase, or not suitcase, I bring a backpack rather. But like I would never be like, oh, is this okay? Like, is this okay? Because I know myself well enough and I'm confident enough in knowing that what I wear, I feel good, and then because I feel good, I look good. And I feel like I don't need anyone to tell me no. But that has been some questionable outfits, let me tell you that. Now, the next place, one of the places I've spent the most time in my life, charity shops. Or if you're an American, thrift shops. Now, charity shops, you have affordable experimentation. Let me explain. Charity shops can allow you to explore different styles and encouraging you to step out your comfort zone, but without spending a whole load of money. Like, it's not like you have to invest. If you want to do this certain look, you don't need to invest a load of money, or you don't need to worry about returning it, because you can return things to a charity shop anyway, so you'll always get your money back. And obviously unique finds. Some of the best things I own are from charity shop, like the eclectic mix, and people don't really know what's good, what's bad, and I feel like it's obviously so subjective as well. And obviously, let's be real, probably 95% of the things in charity shops can't be found in your local H&M. Now, another reason why I love them so much and also hate them so much is when you don't find anything and you drive all that way, or you go out of your way to go to charity shops and you've had a really disappointing day. Maybe there's only one charity shop near your house, and where I live right now, there's not a few on the high street. There's only maybe 3 near, like on my street. But the beauty of this is that because I'm so desperate to find something, because I've gone out my way and I've gotten the cash out and I have the intention to buy, I look again and I look again, and I'm so determined to find something that sometimes I've made buys just because. Now, I know I say not to do this, but that's the beauty of it sometimes, because I think worst case scenario, I can just go home, try it on, and then return it if it doesn't fit, which I don't think I've ever returned anything from a charity shop. But do you get what I'm saying? Like, because you're there, you feel like you have to look extra hard, and then you probably will find something. You just have to see things in a different way sometimes. Now, the last one that I wanted to talk about of my inspiration, which I would say is probably quite a big inspiration, is books. Actual reading books. One thing about me, I'm a read. I've got my Kindle. I love to read books. They're so inspiring, and they just encapsulate, is that the right word, my soul and my brain and like my whole thought process into a whole, I don't know. For me, watching a movie doesn't do that. It's very surface level. I'm zoning in and out. But with a book, yeah, although I have to go back and probably read the same page about 5 times because I zone out, I'm still reading it and I'm still immersed in it. And just the vibe you get from a book is unlike watching a movie. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Pick me. Cut that bit out. Now, let me talk about this author, Patti Smith. If you know, you know. Guys, I won't bore you. This is interesting. Just please listen and trust. Now, Patti Smith is a creative, probably in every sense, in every way of her life. There's probably nothing that she doesn't do and nothing that she isn't interested in. But the book specifically, Just Kids. Now, I won't go into the whole premise of the book, but if you are a creative, I highly recommend reading this book and her other books. But this book more specifically, because it kind of has inspired me, because basically there's a lot of takes from this book, but one of them is you don't need to have money to be a creative. You can literally be homeless, okay? And you will still find a way to be creative. And I think the main thing that I took from this book, there's so many things, but the main thing for me is how much humans crave, and yes, crave is the right word. We literally crave to be creative and to express ourselves. That's why it is so important. So please read this book. But there's no doubt that to me personally, creativity is one of the most beautiful human resources that we have available to us. And there's that quote that without creativity there would be no progress, and we would never be, and we would, go back. Without creativity there would be no progress, and we would be forever repeating the same patterns. And I saw another quote, I can't remember the other quote, but that factor, that creativity is the most powerful thing humans do and that we crave it so much, genuinely that goes around my head so much, so much. Let me show you. Actually, no, I won't show you, but I have just every sense of my life I try and be creative. If you know the little books that I carry around with me, oh great, I spilled my drink again. You will know the absolute chaos that is inside of them, and I'm always writing my little books and I'm always doing something, and I've always been like that. So I urge you guys, be creative, find inspiration, see things through a different lens other than your own eyes. Look at things like fresh, like with fresh eyes, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't stress you out, because sometimes in my videos, when I get so passionate about what I'm saying, it kind of makes me out of breath, and I'm talking really fast and I'm talking really loud, and I get carried away with what I'm saying. But I really enjoyed making this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it too. And if there's any sources of creativity that you guys have been majorly inspired from, please comment down below and tell me, because I want to lap this up. Like, tell me where you are like majorly inspired from, and give me some artsy movies, because I want to be a movie girl. I said to my best friend, I was like, this year is the year to read some classic books, and then next year is the year to watch some classic films. So do tell me. Anyways, I post every Sunday and then again on a Monday or a Tuesday, so please subscribe if you're not already. Anyways, have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye.